This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. Just consider this a vitamin or supplement for your mind and heart. And however and wherever you listen to podcasts, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief review? It's so essential in helping others to discover this podcast. And please spread the word with your friends. The item that we're going to discuss today is the need to approach every day with purpose. I mean, each and every day, approach it with purpose. I want to begin by giving you a quote from Henry David Thoreau, who said, "It's not enough to be busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are you busy about?" I rarely meet anyone who says, "Boy, I have so much time on my hands." Nearly everyone that I meet continually communicates to me how busy they are, how they don't have time for hardly anything. So, is some of that the fact that we're just busy, but we're busy with fairly meaningless and innocuous things, or just doing the kinds of things that it takes to just keep putting one foot in front of the other? So to quote Thoreau, it's not just enough to be busy. Everyone is busy, including the ants. What is it that you are busy about? Every day should be approached with purpose and on purpose. I heard someone say years and years ago that every minute that I would spend in planning saves me 10 minutes in the execution of the plan. Now, I have no way of knowing if that is exactly the case, but I do know that planning is essential, crucial ingredient in being able to execute a plan, to be able to follow through. And so if I need to plan and really focus and spend time planning, if I'm going to live my day with purpose, what does some of that involve? Well, if you know me for very long, you know that it's going to involve somewhere along the line making a list. Not like Santa Claus and checking it twice, but you need to make a list. Now, I know some of you are opposed to that. You've tried the to-do list, you've tried the task list. I understand it takes more than just having things written down on a list. I marry it to my calendar, and if it's an important activity, it moves from a list or somewhere where I write it down, and it moves to my calendar, because I don't really take action on many things in life, but I do if it's not in my calendar. So by putting it in my calendar, it becomes something that I have an appointment with, which to do. It was Lee Iacocca, the late Lee Iacocca, who passed away not all that long ago, who said, "If you want to make good use of your time, you've got to know what's most important and give it all you've got." So that's one of the reasons that I write things out on a list. There are some mundane activities that are a part of the responsibilities that I have, that I just have to do them. They're not glamorous, they're not a part of my goal, but they are a part of the functioning of the position that I hold. So I write those down. And I could spend all day doing those things, but if I did those and neglected some weightier items, or items that are going to move me and my organization forward, then I have wasted a lot of time. It does not mean that I ignore those kinds of duties. I happen to schedule them in a time of day when I'm not at my optimum mind and energy, because it doesn't take a lot of energy or even a lot of mental power to get them done, but they just have to be toughed through and gotten done. But I list those things that are important. I have 3 of them that I list, and we'll talk about it in a little later. An author by the name of Dennis Crosby has identified that when you list your tasks by the importance and relevance of what you really need to do, not just busy work and not just activity, but something that really needs to happen, he uses this term when it gets to the execution of your important and second most important and third and so on. He calls it slaying the dragon. And we're going to come back to that in a moment. But the dragon is your most important task you have right now. You get the first one done, then you move to the second one. But slaying the dragon is How do I reach my most important task? We'll talk about it in just a moment. There's another little tool that somebody uses. I have used it in time, and that is when I'm sort of stuck and there are a lot of things that need my attention, a lot of things that need to be done today. Ask yourself, if I were leaving tomorrow for a 3-week vacation, what would I have to get done today? Use that as a little motivational tool. Pretend you're leaving tomorrow for 3 weeks and you will not be able to do any of these tasks or activities right now. So pretend like today is your last day at work for a while. What would you work on? Someone else has said a wise person does at once what a fool does at last. Meaning, if you have something significant to do, get to doing it. Don't wait. Do it now. There'll not be an optimal time. Quit procrastinating. Slay the dragon of procrastination. So let's talk about your dragon for a moment. First of all, the person who came up with this idea said the first thing you have to do is identify your dragon. Now, I have never referred to mine as dragons, but I think it's an interesting concept. For me, I call them my 3 most important tasks. Some do 5. I have more things to do, but 3 that are crucial, that is the cream that has risen to the top. They are the things that I absolutely must attend to if I'm going to do what I really say I need to do this day. So first of all, before you get going tomorrow, before you get going in a new day, identify what your dragons are. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever, really makes no difference. But find the one that is the most important, and you have to slay that dragon. So first of all, identify what is the most significant and important thing that I need to be doing. Identify it. You'll know what it is. Secondly, prepare and organize for the task before you begin. That's why I love my evening or nighttime routine, because a part of that is I go over what faces me tomorrow, what meetings I'm going to go to, what appointments I am going to have, what things I have scheduled that need my attention. Then I look over my goals and the things that I need to get done, and I begin to identify what are my 3 most important things that they're so significant I won't go to bed tomorrow night until they are done. And I list them in their importance. And if I need some documentation, if I need a reference book, if I need to pull up some emails, if I need to pull up some texts and get them organized, if I have notes in my Evernote or whatever your note-taking app is, pull all that together. I'm still, when I'm working out of a briefcase, have file folders, and periodically I'll even make a paper copy of some of those things if I need it right at hand, especially if some of the things are stored across my different systems that I have, but mostly I just look at them electronically. But I prepare, I organize them, I have them with me, so when I begin my project, I don't have to spend a half hour going to Evernote, going through my email, looking up that text, finding that document, what page was that on, where is the proposal that was given to me. That wastes your time. You need to gather all of your material together, prepare and organize yourself before you begin. So tomorrow, when you start that task, you attempt to slay that dragon. All of the documentation and all of the information that you need is right at your fingertips. So you have to identify your dragon. What is that most important task you have to do today? Ahead of time, get yourself prepared and organized. Get all of your material together in one place. The next thing is, this is the hardest part for most people, is you have to take the first step. I don't know what that dragon is for you. I don't know what that item is for you. But let's just give a few examples. To take the first step towards your task, whatever it might be, if your task is, I have to write a report, or I'm writing a book, or I'm writing a blog, whatever it is, sit down and write the first sentence. Do something. You won't slay the dragon thinking about it and even preparing to slay him If your project or your task is to write something, write the first sentence. Break the ice. Get momentum working in your favor. If you're in a sales position and you have to make cold calls, then look on the list. You've gotten the numbers together. You've got the directory together. You know the people you need to call, the 10, 15, 20 names and phone numbers you need to call. You're prepared. You have that material. Call the first number. Take the first step. Once you have taken the first step, the other steps come along naturally. If you're creating a presentation for a meeting, either write your opening sentence or create your first slide. That is slaying the dragon. Start. You can't complete a task until you take the first step. Write that sentence. Make that call. Develop that slide. And on it goes. Just take the first step and it's easy to slay the dragon. The fourth thing that I would say is put yourself on a timer. I am a believer in the Pomodoro technique. I have an electronic timer on all of my computers and phone, and so I decide ahead of time on task number 1 should take me 30 minutes. When I have the material, I have it in front of me, or maybe it'll take 50 minutes, 15. It doesn't make any difference. Set the timer and then hit start. That again gives you a sense of urgency. I have to get moving. I have to get this done. You have the material. Now write the sentence, make the call, do whatever it is you need to do, but time yourself. And at the end of the time, when the timer runs out, take a 5-minute break, do something else. Either come back again with another Pomodoro few minutes and get it done, or move on to dragon number 2 or task number 2. Again, identify your dragon, identify your most important task and your most important task for the day. Get yourself prepared and organized ahead of time. Have all the material you're going to need to accomplish that task. If it's phone numbers, if it's information, if it's emails, gather it together. Take the first step. Do something. And then give yourself some boundaries. Give yourself a sense of urgency and use a timer. And there are all sorts of timers at the app stores. You'll find them. They are everywhere, from free to more expensive. It doesn't really matter. If you have an egg timer at home, if you have a kitchen timer, just ask to borrow that and use that. It doesn't matter what you use. You can use your phone. There are all sorts of timers. Just do something. My friend, this has been Dr. Ron Blake on Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom saying, I want you to approach every day with purpose. Don't just be busy. Do the things that will significantly move you down the road. You've been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom. Words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today this has been like a vitamin or a supplement for your heart and mind. Again, wherever you receive podcasts, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief review, and please spread the word. I leave you with this, my friends. Make every day significant. Approach every day with purpose. Do not wander through life as a generality. Be an on-purpose person. Until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying, you are doing better than you think you are. Have a great and blessed day.